A very good afternoon to one and all. At the outset, we are humbled to have support and partnership of IEEE Censors Council during our two-day conference on 9th and 10th of May on the topic of diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging at UK, MIT University, London. We are humbled to have the support and partnership of IEEE Census Council. We are deeply expressed Dr. Gurinder.
You can continue. You're audible. You're visible and audible now. There might be some technical
I
issues.
lost connection in between, but I am pretty back again. And I express my deep-rooted gratitude to our Honorable Chancellor, Professor Atul Chauhanji, who has laid down imperative role in innovations and different initiatives. Also to our Group Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Gurinder Singh, whose international strides have given the MITian confidence that they can achieve whatever they want to do in their lives. With this, we are starting ahead with our workshop of IEEE Censors Council. I would like to introduce my audience to a senior veteran here who is Dr. Sachin Kumar. I will take this honor to introduce him. Dr. Sachin Kumar is a professor of computer science at Cluster Innovation Center, University of Delhi. He is executive officer of University of Delhi Foundation. His research work has been published in Urban Computing Smart System in reputed high impact factor journals. He is teaching and supervising research in the area of artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, digital transformation, and governance. He has demonstrated his expertise in international conferences of repute, few of them like IEEE ELM, IEEE WCCI, IEEE IJCNN, etc., and many more conferences. His main thrust is to propel India in the domain of startups, as everyone knows that we stand third worldwide in the startup framework. And taking that stride forward, he has leveraged technologies, artifacts to solve the societal problems, specifically in the area of artificial intelligence. To our surprise and interesting fact that he has his own YouTube channel, Professor and Mentor, where he discusses about different technologies as well as societal issues. He's also a veteran in consultation of startups and which are in the domain of interdisciplinary research which take the leverage of different technologies. With this, I hand over the mic to Dr. Sachin Kumar to take forward and give the audience the insights.
Thank you, Dr. Sweta. Thank you very much for inviting me. I would like to thank organizing team of this workshop and the conference for giving me this opportunity to share my views on the topic of artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and digital society, opportunities and challenges. Am I audible?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. So I want to share the screen. Is the screen visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So in today's this invited talk, I would like to discuss about artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, which is actually the comprehensive, you can say, the field of sensors and digital society, because whatever we are developing, that is to promote the better systems and better living systems in our society through artificial intelligence and Internet of Things. So we have some opportunities also and challenges. So that is the lecture is all about. So in this lecture, I will be basically discussing about the emergence of digital transformation, digital society, and what are the foundations of artificial intelligence and Internet of Things and sensors, where they are coming into play to provide intelligent systems, intelligent agent, intelligent tools and machines, so that we can live our life in convenience and in comfortable domain. So we'll discuss about artificial intelligence and IoT development, presently what is happening in the field. We will also discuss that due to these developments and the recent research and developments, we are also facing some social and ethical issues, specifically coming from algorithms and artificial intelligence and Internet of Things developments. We will discuss what are the real impact of these ethical problems, and then we will move towards what is the better way of addressing these issues, moving towards responsible artificial intelligence. So this whole lecture is completely, it will integrate everything what is happening in the technological domain at present, integrating artificial intelligence, big data, Internet of Things, sensors, blockchain, and our social media platforms. So starting our journey, we can actually divide our human society journey in 4 phases. Initially, we were part of the hunting and gathering society, where our main focus was only to survive. We were not having any vision for the future. We were not having anything that we have to do something or we have to live our life like that, because that type of consciousness was not there at that time in our mind. The only thinking was that how do I survive? How do I get the meal for the next food, for the next time? So in this thing, a very small, or you can say insignificant technological revolution it may look like, but at that time it was huge, that we started developing stone or wood related tools, and then we moved into the agrarian society. And when we went into agrarian society, our whole system of living, our whole system of survival completely changed. We started living in communities. We started accumulating food, forest produce, food related items, and we started community, tribe, and all these type of institutions in this phase of human society. Then around 1600, 1700, we went into another technological revolution driven by mechanization of the machines, introduction of the machines, and then production of goods and the services at the mass scale. This phase is actually called industrialized society, because industries started developing, people started migrating from local villages to the big industrial towns, and this also led to the civilized way of, I would say, not in that sense civilized, but that how do we, when so many people are accumulating in one place, then how we are going to make sure that they live a very good society. So civil systems, residential housings, hospitalization, education, skills, and all these things came into picture. And whatever we are witnessing at this point in time, that is actually the fundamental things provided by the industrialized society. Now, we are in the beginning of knowledge society or information society, which is actually driven by these latest technological developments, artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, sensors. Everywhere we will be having sensors around us. They are recording the things, whatever activities we are doing, and then on the basis of that accumulated data, we are making important decisions, accurate decisions, and decisions which are good for us, for our governance, for our society, for overall humanity. So that is what it is. So we are actually right now in the information processing society, or you can say the digital society, where around us, everywhere we have already developed tool machines, but we are also processing information coming from those devices. So that is all about information and knowledge society, which we are right now witnessing. And in coming time, it will be very, you can say, we will be witnessing the mature part of this phase. If we talk in terms of the transformation of what was the core thing which led to the transformation, so we will see that in the beginning that we were actually transforming or converting our materials so that they can be used as a usable product or tools in some sense. Then it led to the phase of transformation of energy, starting from water energy to the steam power, to the electric power, to the combustion engines which we generated. And now we are actually transforming or processing the information, are led by the communication and storage information, electronics and computing and information systems, and information and communication technology revolution. So these all things actually set the ground what we are trying to discuss. We started this journey from information processing. We know that earlier, before the digitalization, whatever we call digital transformation, digitalization or digitization, we were using analog information. For example, we were having very physical formats, physical registers, and we were writing into those things. So that type of information was actually 95% in early 90s. But after 2002, because of the emergence of internet, because of the foundation of electronics and computing devices and uh, their uses by the general public and the institutions in providing services to the general public, to the government institution, to business institutions, it led to the explosion of data and recording of that data in the form of digital information. So if you see the current pace of information, then it is actually 90 to 95% of information whatever we are right now generating, that is digital information. And in terms of the quantity of this information, if we calculate, then in each 2 years, 1 to 2 years, we are actually generating double information whatever we have generated up to this point in time. So you can think about that, how much information we are generating, and if this type of information is generated, then we definitely, this information is actually having our behaviors, our activities recorded. So we have to understand that how we get the useful information from it, provided the security, privacy, and all these type of issues are properly addressed. Then we can get very good information from these systems and already accumulated data. And that this data becomes of big data scale. So we have to understand that how we develop new algorithms, how we develop new systems, where we extract useful information and we utilize that information for better product marketing, for better citizen-centric service delivery, for better governance systems, and ultimately leading to the good or efficient systems for the citizens. Most of the time we learn about these three terms, and we always most of the times we exchange them for one another, but they are actually different. So first we need to understand what is digitization, what is digitalization, and what is digital transformation. So digitization is basically that you have a physical format of register. Suppose you have a copy, you have a notebook, and now you are converting that information into the digital format. You are scanning it, you are making PDF of it, or you are recording its data into some software system. So this is actually digitization of information. So this was the initial phase of the journey which we have already covered. Then the next phase comes the digitalization, that you have institution, now you have a digital information, and then you are utilizing that information to automate the internal processes of an institution. For example, Amity University internal operations are being automated. So then it is the digitalization phase of Amity institution or any other institution which we call it. And then comes the phase of digital transformation, which is actually the phase in which we are presently living. So digital transformation is basically a phase in which you have different type of already digitalized institutions, and they are coming together, new entities, new business models, new innovations, new research is coming, and they are developing such products and services that these institutions are not interacting physically but digitally, and they are providing a very good service to the institutions, means providing services to the end user. You can take the example of digital transformation is Uber. Before 2010 or 2005, you can think about that Uber was not there, or similar type of services were not there. Everybody was in standalone, making the efforts. But now what do? Uber emerged, and it has integrated all components like bank payment, like travel agencies, like drivers and the car owners and the end user. So they all are integrated through this app, and then everybody is satisfied with the business model, and then a person who is interested in going from one place to another place is easily going just by opening the app and then getting the cab instantly within 5 to 10 minutes. So this is actually the digital transformation. So similar type of transformation we may have in different institutions, where new and innovative type of products will come and they will facilitate our functioning in society and in our life. So we don't need to own any car, and we just need to hire the Uber and we can go. So similar type of institutions are there. One of the very big digital transformation example is our UPI, where government provided the layer of that every bank is integrated. Now you have different type of private service providers, and they are actually coming into picture and giving you services to pay your credit card bill, to pay your any type of grocery bill, electricity bill, or society related changes. All these type of things can be done. So this is actually the part of digital transformation phase. All these things are actually leading us to towards the digital society. So in digital society, we will have the economy which is sustainable. We will have socio-economic systems which are integrating. We will have artificial intelligence. We will have sensors. We will have Internet of Thing, and we will have, they will be interacting and taking decisions whatever is in our comfort and convenience. So this will be the foundation. Coming to the artificial intelligence, the foundation of artificial intelligence is basically that we have to develop, which is intelligent machine. Before, in the industrialization phase, we were automating our task. So decision making was with the human or the person who is instructing the machine and driving the machine, but the machine only work was to do the work, automation work, and produce things in the large scale. But now what we want to do in this digital transformation phase, or in this digital society or information societies, that we want to give autonomy and decision making power to the machine. So we want to make machine autonomous, so that whatever decision it takes, there is criteria that it should be comfortable to us, it should be in the welfare of human beings and the society, and do everything according to that thing. So you will need to have different type of devices, data coming from their sensors across all the systems in society, and then automatically they will be interacting with one another and then taking decisions with the help of artificial intelligence. So this will be a very automated, autonomous, and intelligent or digital driven society. So the foundation of artificial intelligence is that we have to develop machine which has intelligence. The thing was started in 1950s, when the Professor John McCarthy, actually, who is called father of artificial intelligence and LIPS also, he actually started thinking about that, what is actually intelligence, and can machine be made intelligent, and how, if they can be made intelligent, then how to do that thing. Initially it was a very basic idea, because it has been always in our imagination also, as a childhood person, or when we were in our childhood, that there should be some machine or something, some type of gene, which we instruct, or automatically it understand our requirements and do everything, do the other work. So these type of things led to this imagination that can we develop machines or which are intelligent, and they can do the work whatever we want. So this thinking led to the call of one of the famous, and you can say the fundamental conference in 1956, Dartmouth Conference, in which people from different fields came together, and they spent 2 months together to understand whether artificial intelligence is possible or not, or similar, these type of things can be developed in 1950s or 60s, because at that time it was just an idea. So they actually came to the proposal, and they thought that the human levels thinking, or human level understanding or intelligence can be simulated. They gave this conclusion after this conference. Now, then also there was a little bit of confusion, and there were several directions in which artificial intelligence would be developed. One thing is, whenever I am calling systems, it means it is agent, it may be a machine, it may be a device, or something like that. So system means that system can think rationally, because in the previous discussions it was decided that yes, human behavior can be simulated, whatever human thinks then can be simulated. Now human, when we are trying to think that artificial intelligence will develop the machine as human behave, then human has two things: one is emotion, one is rationality, and we are improving rationality day by day. So what do we want to develop? We want to develop intelligent machine which is based on emotions, or we want to develop intelligent machine which is based on rationality. So there were several type of dimensions in which the development could grow, but they initially started that artificial intelligence should be developed in such a manner that it takes the rational decisions, because if machine is taking the irrational decisions, then it may be problematic for the society and the human being. So present day development actually deals with the systems or artificial intelligence systems that act rationally, not emotionally. Although in later part of the artificial intelligence, emotional component will come into the picture and it will also be integrated with the developments. But presently, the main focus is to get the work done rationally, intelligently. So now we understand what is actually artificial intelligence. So there is this word. This word is very popular these days. Everybody is talking about artificial intelligence, whether person coming from business background, political science background, philosophy background, sociology background, because this technology is very transformative technology and there will not be any part of the society where it will not have its impact. So that's why we need to understand what is actually artificial intelligence. So the fundamental definition of artificial intelligence is that anything which is being done to understand machine so that it can be made human-like intelligent, that is artificial intelligence. So it is specifically field of computer science where this field or this domain is responsible for making machines intelligent enough so that they can take their own decisions as humans are doing. So if anything is related to this definition, then we will say that we are actually contributing to the artificial intelligence domain or we are working in artificial intelligence domain. For example, if we are talking about the consciousness of machine, so then philosophy domain is coming and artificial intelligence domain is coming. So even philosophy person is also related to the artificial intelligence domain. If we are thinking about that, what type of social impact artificial intelligence will have on the society or the different component of society, then a sociology person and mathematician and the computer science persons are coming together and they are doing interdisciplinary research, and that is also artificial intelligence domain. But when we are talking about artificial intelligence domain, then it is actually the core domain of computer science, mathematics, electronics, and they are coming together to develop important means intelligent machine. So that is all about artificial intelligence. Now when we are developing artificial intelligence, we also need to understand that there are several people who are working on artificial intelligence systems and they can claim that their system is intelligent. So how do we define or how do we test that system is intelligent? So we have one test given by the Alan Turing, who is famous scientist from United Kingdom. He is also famous for his path-breaking contribution during the Second World War. So he actually gave the Turing test. Turing test is basically that we are observer and we are outside two rooms. In one room there is computer, we know. In there is one. In second room there is human being, and we have a prepared set of questions and we are sliding those questions under the door, but we don't know actually in which room computer is there, in which room human being is there. And when we get answer from those rooms by sliding under the door, then we evaluate. If we are not able to evaluate that this answer has been from computer or this answer has been from human being, then it means that machine has achieved that level of intelligence that it can create a confusion in human mind, that it will think that it is given by the human being. So if machine has achieved that level of intelligence, then we will say that machine is intelligent. So that is actually the fundamental test in which we are trying to develop that level of intelligence, that it can fool human beings or it can actually create difficult circumstances to assess the answers, that from which side it is coming. Because if both the answers looks like that they are given by the human being, it means that machine has performed very well, it has started behaving like human being. So that is the Turing test. Now we also have different, because it is a very big field nowadays and it has different type of intelligence. We have intelligence which is based on logical reasoning systems, logical reasoning, these type of systems. Then it is called knowledge based systems, where we are trying to solve complex problems. Then if we are getting intelligence by working on the data of image type or of video type, then it is the field of computer vision, where we are doing the processing and developing intelligent systems through digital images and the video. For example, facial recognition systems, smart these self-driving cars, they are actually doing the computer vision task majorly and then deciding what is ahead and what type of decisions I have to take. Then you also have intelligent agents, like software programs in which some type of intelligence has already been integrated. We most of the time use Grammarly So it is intelligent system. We in Gmail, when we write, so some type of suggestions already comes. So that is actually intelligent agent, software agent systems where artificial intelligence is coming to picture and being implemented. If you have text and you are extracting knowledge from it and then you are utilizing it as intelligence, then it is natural language processing. If you are working on the emotional aspects of simulating human behavior in the machine, then it is called effective computing. If you have huge data and you are processing that data and giving intelligent decisions, and those are being used in other systems, then it is a smart big data domain of artificial intelligence. We have embedded systems already, and if you are integrating AI into those embedded systems like our oven or our kitchen appliances, our washing machine, then it is embedded AI. If you have robotics and then you are making those robots intelligent, then it is your intelligent robotics systems. Similar type of things are there. So presently we have self-driving cars, we have facial recognition systems, we have chat GPT, large language model, we have Stanford algorithm, which is actually doing very good and performing better than the radiologist, and it has surpassed the human level accuracy of radiologist. We have Google Assistants, we have Alexa, we have Siri, we have recommendation systems in Netflix, we have matchmaking sites. So everywhere in the background, artificial intelligence is being used so that intelligent decision or intelligent guess can be made. China has gone further because China has invested a lot of money into the AI research, and China is developing huge artificial intelligence systems, and we can see their deployment in real world also. China deployed their artificial anchor, which reads the script automatically, and it is a virtual anchor, and it gives the reports and the news to the general public in China. So these type of developments are actually happening. Now, coming to the second domain, what is artificial Internet of Thing? Internet of Thing is actually, you can say, the comprehensive understanding of sensors, because sensors are individual sensors. We are utilizing them and we are developing individual applications using them. But if think of a situation that there are so many devices, billions of devices around us or in the world, and if they all are connected together through the internet and they automatically share data and take decisions in the welfare of the human being and the society, then it is a huge situation, and it is called Internet of Things. So earlier we are actually part of the internet, which is actually accessed by the human beings. But now in this phase, what we are trying to do is that Internet of Things means the devices which are already available, we are ensuring that they all are connected to the internet and do whatever work they are supposed to do. So if this type of thing is there, then you can think about that what type of quantity of data we will be generating and how processing will take place, how intelligent systems will be there. So this is actually our Internet of Things. So we will think in means Internet of Thing in mobile devices. Then we will think artificial Internet of Thing in intelligent factories, at home, at governance systems, everywhere where their device is there, we are integrating it with some computational power. It is giving us the data, doing processing and taking decisions individually also, or taking instructions from the centralized location after the processing. So that is Internet of Thing. It has huge applications in agriculture, in travel, in energy, because everywhere we have machines and everywhere we are using devices. So if device is there, then it can be made an sensor or internet enabled device, and then it can also be instructed what type of information or what type of instructions or work it should do. So then it is artificial intelligence, IoT together, they are going to completely transform our society, and it will be making us a digital society component, one of the component of digital society. Coming for artificial intelligence, we have two, as it is transformative technology, so it can be used in negative ways also, it can be used in positive ways. But artificial intelligence also has huge potential when it can be used in social good. And when we talk about the social good, so we have one of the fundamental things and the target set by United Nations in the form of Sustainable Development Goals. So artificial intelligence can also contribute in poverty reduction, in ensuring that there is no hunger, in good health and well-being. Good health and well-being, we already know that through the mobile apps, through the devices which we are wearing on our wrist, they are actually giving us signals and they are providing us the information intelligently that what should you do, what should you not do, what is the calorie intake and all these things. Quality education they can provide, they can ensure gender equality, clean water sanitation. So in each and every aspect, little or more, artificial intelligence, IoT, and all these digital systems can come and contribute to make our society a better place. There are several applications of artificial intelligence, and if we talk about in education, it is going to transform completely the classroom of education systems, where we have suppose different type of students who are having different abilities to learn the subject. So personalized tutor can also be arranged, personalized guidance can also be given to them. So it will be very student centric education system when artificial intelligence, IoT, and all these type of devices are implemented in education systems in coming future. Similarly, in smart home, in smart cities, smart industries, there is huge opportunity for artificial intelligence to make these systems more efficient, productive, and comfortable, and very good in terms of the energy efficiency. We have these examples of artificial intelligence, these type of like Netflix, Spotify, where through the recommendation systems driven by machine learning systems in the background, they are providing us more accurate content according to our previous watching history and the interest which we show that this is good for us. We also are using presently these type of applications in Gmail, in LinkedIn, wherever digital devices we are using, so or digital systems or softwares we are using, they are actually in the background running, and they are making our life easy. So I was talking about that how artificial intelligence can come into picture to reduce the poverty. So there is one research developed by Joshua Blumenstock. He actually did very innovative study in one of the South African countries, where he actually predicted which area is poor, which area is not poor, at a very core level and small level, which helped the government there to target the government resources so that poor areas can be addressed better. So he used artificial intelligence, mobile phone data, and satellite imagery, and then produced results which were actually almost similar to the results obtained by door-to-door survey and the physical information taken by the government. If you see these two images represent the country, and one image represent the physical door-to-door accurate data which was taken by the samplers, and the second one is the image generated by that model after doing the processing and producing machine learning system for that. If you compare both of them, you will think you will see that it is more than 95% same. So we can do monitoring instantly, we can do monitoring multiple times. We do surveys in 5 years, in 10 years, because it takes a lot of financial resources, human resources. But if computer system, with the help of already existing data, if that is used innovatively, then it can reduce our work, governance systems can also improve, and we will be able to reduce poverty at the faster pace. So these are some of the very innovative examples where artificial intelligence, machine learning, and satellite images, IoT, Internet of Things, they are coming together and providing a very good service. Similarly, artificial intelligence can also come into picture to address the climate change, specifically in estimating remote carbon natural stock, calculating the carbon footprint of individual products, monitoring the epidemics, intelligent irrigation, also evaluating, also developing methods which can evaluate the progress of each country, whether the country is in the right direction to achieve the sustainable development goal or the climate actions or climate goals till 2030. So in all these things, these domains, micro level domains can be identified, and specific problems can be addressed by artificial intelligence in climate change domain also. A specific example we can give is that Google, with the help of Government of India and Bangladesh, is actually developing intelligent app which will actually automatically provide instant notification in terms of the flood in these areas, Eastern UP, West Bengal, Bihar, and Bangladesh. So these type of developments are taking place. You can see these things in the slide. Now we can think that artificial intelligence is very good in terms of the benefit it can provide, and it has huge potential to make this society a better place. But there are some issues also with the artificial intelligence and Internet of Things and the technologies based on the sensors. And those issues are actually listed on this slide, where one of them is loss of control, security and privacy, unemployment, fairness, responsibility, and explainability. So we will discuss them one by one. Loss of control means the fundamental thing, what is happening in this phase of digital transformation or the digital society, is that we are trying to make our machines, our systems, our software systems, our devices autonomous. Autonomous means we want that we should not be involved in their decision making, and they decide automatically what is good for us, what is not good for us. But when you talk about the human beings, we are actually decided by the work. Our identity exists due to the work. If work is not there, nobody identify. We identify an artist by the work or hard work he has put in that thing. And if that hard work you take because machine will do all the work, then that person is similar to anybody else. So in that case, what will be our differentiation factor? What will be our identity? And if we are same, then what is the existence? What is the purpose of life? So these type of psychological and philosophical questions will arise. Then also, what is security and privacy aspect, in which the problem is that these billions of devices will be interacting, and we are not sure that at present time also whatever development has taken place, that these things are hack free. We sometimes listen that this type of virus has penetrated into the system, it has breached a lot of data, it has created this type of problems, ransomware, and these type of attacks frequently happens. But the still full digitalization has not taken place. But when full digitalization happens and these old devices start sharing the data, so how we are going to ensure that things are secure and things are means privacy of individual is intact? Because of this automation, we are also going to face the unemployment problems in coming time, because machines are doing more work. For example, if in your office you had 5 to 10 people who you used for writing something, now using the chat GPT, even a single or two person can do the work. So what will happen to the people who are getting unemployed due to these technologies? So people has to come, or governance has to come into the picture and provide some universal basics income type of concept, so that they can sustain their life, and also provide reskilling opportunities for them in the newly emerging skill set which is required in the digital society. Then comes the issue of the fairness. So in fairness, fairness means that we have not been fair as a society, and the direction in which we are going, that is the direction of the fairness and equity. Wherever we think that injustice is there, we try to reduce that injustice. It may be in the form of gender, it may be in the form of racial discrimination, it may be in the form of caste discrimination, and all these things, or some you can say resource distribution as well. So that is actually our fundamental direction, that we have to go in the direction of the justice and equity, where each and every person is good. That is the ideal condition. But when artificial intelligence systems were deployed in some of the cases, so they discriminated. For example, in Amazon actually started developing one system, and it started deploying this system for screening the candidates so that they can be interviewed in the next phase. And what it did was actually it rejected 80 to 95% of women candidate CVs. So it means it is gender bias. It may be because of the data which was fed to it, which it was biased, it was unbalanced, because Amazon is technologically male-driven company. Because of the software development field, 80 to 90% people are actually in STEM are actually male. So they took the data and it actually rejected the minority data of the woman candidates. So this should not happen in the society. That is one of the big problem of artificial intelligence, IoT, and these sensor-based systems, that they are thinking everybody as a data point. If huge data is there, if represented data is there, they will include that thing. Otherwise, exclusion will penetrate into the system and the decision making, and which will be very bad for our society, for our economic system. This is what we have been fighting for long, that things should be equal for irrespective of the gender, caste, creed, and religion. So another issue can also be discussed here, that we are also facing issue of that we have huge number of judicial cases pending, crores of judicial cases pending, and our philosophy has also been that justice delayed is justice denied. So we have to ensure that people are getting justice in due course of time, and no person who is innocent should be held guilty. That is actually the primary concern. So if we have two similar type of in USA, government institutions applied artificial intelligence for criminal profiling, so that they can reduce the crime and they can identify which person is going to commit the crime. So they were doing the criminal profiling. So they were attaching the risk score after doing the processing, that this person may commit the crime or this is high probable criminal in the coming time. So, but it was again a discriminatory technology. What happened that they implemented this thing, and for the similar type of crime, for the black people, it showed the high risk, and for the white skin people, it showed the less risk. So which was very discriminatory. It should not happen. If you take into the consideration the gender dimension, then it also added that dimension. It increased the risk score. So which is very bad in terms of society. So we cannot allow these systems to operate until they are foolproof. They are better for our society. Otherwise, our society fabric or social fabric will be damaged, which we have over a period of time. We have tried to improve. So similar type of issues are in self-driving car also, where if somebody is in front of the car, then what type of decisions will you take? If that person is criminal, what type of decision car will take? Or if that person is not criminal, what type of decision car will take? So we have to ethicists, philosophers, psychologists, they have to come together and discuss and encode these ethical systems into our artificial intelligence systems, so that they are ethical artificial intelligence or responsible artificial intelligence we are deploying and developing. At present, we are facing these type of issues also due to this technological development, where due to our interest, algorithms are actually recommending us similar type of product, similar type of content, similar type of information. On social media platforms, if we follow anything, then similar type of recommendations come to us, and it create an echo chamber issues. But in long term, it actually makes us rigid, because we do not get different type of perspective. And when we do not get different type of perspective, the perspective which we have selected, that becomes very rigid for us. So we have to understand that how these things are not compromised. So one example we can we can understand the situation or this problem is that in 1994 US elections, the people who were open to any ideology, they were large in numbers. In 2004, they reduced again, and in 2014, they were very less. You can see here that this part, and this part, they have been reduced from this part and this part in these 20 years. So it is the conclusion of this study is that people are becoming more rigid because of the automatic recommendations they are getting about the data on the basis of their similar interest. Reason is they are not getting different point of view, and that is actually making sure that whatever they think that is right, and they are not able to accept the opposite point of view, which is not good. Ultimately, it will make us a very rigid person in or it can turn us into a digital dictator type of situation. There are so many people suffering from these type of issues. We will also have issues of fake news and deep fake related technologies, where imposition of any voice or any person face can be easily nowadays done, and it will has huge impact. For example, if it is used in elections, then it can create or it can manipulate election results very easily. So these things we also need to understand, and we have to ensure that they are properly addressed. Now coming to the end of this presentation, we are thinking about that we are developing human intelligence, which is generation by generation. We are also developing artificial intelligence. So what is actually the time when artificial intelligence will take over the general human intelligence? Reason is that in individual field, we have witnessed that artificial intelligence has surpassed the human level accuracy. For example, in games, in AlphaGo, in chess, in different type of very specific tasks, artificial intelligence is performing much better than the human level accuracy. And it is also defeating human chess champions, AlphaGo champions of top level. So if we talk about the general intelligence, what is that time when this intelligence will take over the human intelligence? So according to the futurist Ray Kurzweil, he is actually suggesting that it should happen around 2030 to 2040, but he is saying that it may be much earlier than that. So that point where the human intelligence will be surpassed by the artificial intelligence or machine intelligence is called singularity. So that time is around 2030 or 35, according to the futurist. It may be wrong or it may be right, but that is what the direction of these developments is. And that is why people are little bit apprehensive about these things. Reason is that if artificial intelligence develop and it becomes powerful and it start taking decisions, it may be harmful for the humanity, because who will control these systems if they become sentient or if they become completely autonomous and we start taking decision on its own without taking a human being in the loop. So that is the problem, and that's why regulatory frameworks across the world, people in government systems, country-wise countries, they are coming together. They are providing policy framework guidance so that things can be in things or the research and development which is happening, that should be in the control. Reason is that we cannot ignore the benefits of artificial intelligence. So we have to ensure that benefits are also utilized, and the challenges also, we should also mitigate the challenges and the apprehensions. So things should be properly regulated in the policy domain. So that is what is happening, and that's why it has resulted into development of artificial intelligence only through proper restructuring, proper ethical guidelines, proper responsible practices should be followed when we are developing using artificial intelligence systems. It is for everybody, for researchers also, for developers also, and for the people who are using artificial intelligence, so that things are good for the society. So thank you so much for the precious time and for the attention.
Thank you, Dr. Sachin, for such a wonderful presentation. Dr. Shweta, over to you.
Yes, Dr. Sachin, thank you. It was very insightful, and you also talked about lots of application area about artificial intelligence, the security challenges which are very imperative these days. And there were many interesting facts, the biases which you could, I understand you use lots of tools to dig out the data which talks about and predict the biases across the globe which is happening, and the kind of feedback which is generated, and the decisions are being driven by that biasness. So I, from the entire set of audience and Amity University specifically, I would like to thank you from the core of the heart. And before we felicitate you, Dr. Sachin, we have also a quick session that is related to the sensors, which would be taken by me. In amidst that, we have a question by Dr. Animesh.
Yeah, most welcome.
I read that question
Dr.
out.
Sachin, I'll read it, ma'am.
Yeah.
Dr. Sachin, Dr. Animation asking that once the wrong code, malicious design is used in creating an artificial intelligence, the outcome will also be biased. What is your take on that?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, artificial intelligence, there are several people who are coming together to develop artificial intelligence systems. So one is the people who are actually researchers, then the people who are actually developing and coding those things. So that's why to address these type of questions or to address these type of problems, each and everybody should be sensitized about the ethical issues which may come because of their contribution. So whenever anybody is writing or anybody is contributing in this pipeline of intelligent system development, they should have understanding that whatever I'm writing, that should not be wrong, and it should be according to the policies and the decisions taken by the regulatory mechanisms.
Now that takes me to the second question, which Dr. Animesh is asking. He's taking about what are the protocols and what are the standards in terms of the morality of the people who are creating these artificial intelligence tools.
Uh, Actually, it is a very big issue of morality. What is moral? What is not moral? But as a scientist, one person intent is not to create any harm for the society, because scientists are actually working so that things can be good for the society. We were working for the vaccine. We were working for each and everything what has happened in the society, that has been in that sense only. But there may be some people who are actually, who after the development, or who may develop these things for the harm of humanity. So that's why we need regulatory and policy mechanisms so that these things can be identified and they can be addressed and punishment can be made to those people.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Sachin. I hope Animesh sir, Dr. Sachin was able to answer your queries. Anyone else having any query, they can post it in the chat. Or we
If
can
you have very specific example, sorry.
Sorry.
If anybody has a specific example, then you can write mail to me also, and you can go to my YouTube channel, Professor and Mentor. There are specific videos available there, so I will be posting things related to technology and society there also.
Sure, sir. And in case anyone having any query, they can post in the chat and we can take the questions at the end of the session also. We can proceed with the next session, Dr. Shweta.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Sachin.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thanks to you. I go ahead and share my screen now. Is the slides visible, Dr.
Yes,
Rooney?
we can start.
Okay. All right. So, as very well defined by Dr. Sachin, that different application area of sensors, how well he integrated it with the artificial intelligence, lots of startups which are working in this domain now. The surge of demands in the field of sensors has now been attributed to the desire of enhanced comfort, the convenience and the ease of use, automation and affordability, and security, smart devices, like for example, auto switch gears, the auto light, the smart lights, the security system, the auto lifts, the auto driven cars, IoT and automation, which is very well integrated with the artificial intelligence. So these days, as our students are very well aware, the EV cars have the enabled of automation system, and not only that it has sensors, but the sensors are also integrated with the artificial intelligence. So if the driver perhaps is a frequent falls in sleep, it gives a detection. The face detection helps the driver to give an alert back. So that kind of integration of artificial intelligence is there with the sensor system. So I'm taking that forward with a couple of more interesting facts and examples here on. So all of us know that the lifespan of the people has gradually increased. So across the different countries on the slide, you can see worldwide lifespan. And initially the blue line, specifically if I talk about the Indian, the Asian country, which is the light blue color, which lands around 65 on an average. So whereas the highest lifespan rate touches to 80 years on an average for the Oceania, including Australia and New Zealand section. So the lifespan certainly to a great extent depends upon the many factors, but also the technology has a big role to play when it comes to the preventive measures, which ideally the people have started taking after the age of 30 and beyond. So that's how sensors are integrated, what sensors play a role in the healthcare, we will talk in a while now. If we talk about the global wireless sensors network, you can see the wireless sensors network in the market is about to have the growth rate of 17.7% from the current era to 2028, which is probably a big higher expected jump. So the sensors, not just in the daily consumer life, like for example, refrigerators, washing machine, the lights, security, the security at the offices, the biodetection, but also in the healthcare, and also in the stress management, also in the domain of HR analytics, and many more has become imperative. So one of the interesting fact, and very much in different countries now, including Indian also, the autonomous visualization system, like for example, the latest Mahindra which has been launched in the market, has also the sensor based driven system, which not only detects the nearby hindrance object, but also tries to maintain a distance with the vehicle which is ahead. That a very innovative and a new IoT solution which is there in the lots of European market. Again, that not just this sensor device not just monitors the motion, but also monitors the temperature, prepares the report for humidity, create the alarms, and most importantly, which is one of the SDG demand, the air quality sensor is there. And also this triggers, and so it's a 5-in-1 complete end-to-end solution on the platform. For example, you have a home and you're leaving home for some time, so not just that it will give you the motion detection, but also the humidity, also the dampness, also any the fire detection, anything which is which causes hindrance is detected, and the reports could be prepared through this device. This certainly uses the lithium battery, which is also very important, and also higher studies are going and research work into the low emission and low carbon dioxide, low footprints emission batteries these days, which are used in the IoT platforms. Another very interesting example is related to the biofluids. So an integration of so biofluids which are considered as which like for example tear, saliva, the sweat, or the urine, the biofluids. And POCT is the point of contact devices which are used. For example, if we go for a blood test, or if we go for a diabetic test, they do a point of care test right away. But these the biosensors help to use the biofluids and prepare the reports of your the upcoming diseases. Now whether you are prone to have an eye condition or an allergic condition, so the tear, through the tear and through the POCT devices, the biofluids are able to measure and give the right status to the doctor. So the basics behind this concept is the study of the antigen, which how it reacts to the antibody. That kind of measure we are able to track through the sensors. So one of the Stanford startup which have used the mHealth application, the mobile health application that we use in the post-rehabilitation cases, where lots of geriatric patients after the post-surgery, they are taken back homes. So when they're taken back homes after post-operative care, and the doctor cannot always be there, so the app, the smartphone app, for example, the mHealth app is there, and which is connected through the sensors, the wireless sensors on the body of the patient, and it gives the real-time data. The data is uploaded on the cloud platform and also through to the edge computing now, and then gradually with the help of the AI, a prediction is done on the future stroke cases of that patient, or future fall detection cases, that given the current data, the future is predicted, and that data is transmitted to the health records of the health provider. So very low cost, unobstructive sensors, not just the external sensors, but also intrusive sensors. These days, lots of study in MIT that intrusive sensors in the brain, and which predicts that what would the customer would like to have. So they alter the clinical practices of rehabilitation, and especially with the patients who are having neurological and musculoskeletal condition, which needs to be monitored on a long-term basis. So there are many other applications in healthcare domain, but briefly, Switzerland, Japan, USA, and the Great Lakes neurotechnology have been able to find out the devices which are used as clinical instrumentation, the fall management system, as well as defining the pathological motor features. So for example, someone who has suffering with bradycythemia or any kinestic based diseases, all that alerts are given on the mobile health apps. So each the domain is different, but the trigger is reported on the mobile health app of the doctor, and the doctor is able to analyze that for the future predictions. So these are a couple of the examples, and thank you so much to all of you for being a patient listener.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shweta, for such valuable insights. Now, to conclude the session, in a absolute way, I can say it was a wonderful session. It told us about the brighter as well as the darker side of artificial intelligence, IoT, and Dr. Shweta added how the sensors, what role they are playing in artificial intelligence in IoT, and how they are shaping up our life, and what are the implications they have for us in future. I would like to thank all the audience for your patience. And
Thank you so much, everyone. And we hereby wind up the session. Thank you. And the certificates to the participants, so they would be received the certificates by the UK team. Thank you once again. Mobin, please close the session.
I request IT team to close the session.
Ma'am, we are on live. You can start.
Thank you. Warm greetings from Amity University in London. I, Rashmi Malhotra, welcome you all to the valedictory session of the two-day international conference on diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, supported by Wiley and being hosted by Amity University in London. And also, we have completed the workshop on IoT AI-based startups sponsored by IEEE Census Council. This two-day conference has overseen a high number of paper presentations on different topics of diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging from different parts of the globe. Research papers unraveled the nuances of DEIB and in particular discussed how diversity and equity bring inclusivity in different domains. I once again welcome all the guests, dignitaries, speakers, and students who joined us today physically and virtually for the valedictory session. To present the valedictory address, I would like to invite none other than our mentor, guide, a very effective leader, Group Vice Chancellor, sir. And it is with all his efforts that we have been able to conceptualize, convene, and to finally wrap up the conference. Put your hands together for Group Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor.
What a privilege to welcome our very good friends I can see from academia, world leaders from industry, a large number of researchers who are joining us online and from the various parts of the world. It's our privilege to welcome all of you. On behalf of our founder, Dr. Chauhan, our Chancellor, Dr. Atul Chauhan, on behalf as a Group Vice Chancellor, we have got now 12 universities in India, so 12 Vice Chancellors, Director Generals, Deans. I welcome all of you. A special mention of the Vice Chancellor of University of Northampton, Professor Jean. Very warm welcome to. Please give a huge applause to him. We are very good friends, and the Chancellor of the university has visited us for a few times, and I think that in February, when we organized our international conference in India, they were kind enough to fly from UK and be a part of this research conference. Thank you so much for coming. We look forward to strengthen our partnership for our times to come. Give a huge applause once again to him. And please convey our regards to your Chancellor, Baroness Verma, who's a very good friend, and I know that we are taking dinner tonight. but she is a very inspirational chancellor. Thank you. We have University of Derby, Dr. Tola Etsina, the provost. A very warm welcome to you. Please give a huge applause to him. We are developing a very strong research and a strong partnership with the Derby, exploring which are the areas where we can work on. Also, we have a presence of our own CII head and director, Ms. Raza Hassan. Raza Hassan, thank you so very much for coming up. I think that's very important that whatever we do, we are able to deliver it to the students back. Special mention of IEEE Sensor Council workshop team, and which has been able to support us. Give a huge applause for IEEE. And also for our publishers, Wiley, Case Center UK, Springer, Taylor, and Francis. My heart goes to for the main organizers who helped us to not only organize this event, but also to see the large number of research paper, case studies we are able to present, which are now coming up in the form of a book. As you know, that MED is the largest partner of Case Center UK. In the last few years, we have been not only able to publish large number of case studies, but also able to create video case studies. I think that this is something which very few universities and institutions worldwide have been able to do. Thankful to Case Center UK for supporting this conference. But at the same time, the research team in India, which was working day and night, which consisted of Dr. Rashmi, who is here, and of course, two of our very able learned colleagues, Dr. Prateek and Dr. Mamta, who have helped us. But at the same time, with IEEE, Dr. Shweta Nanda, Ravneet, and many others who have helped. Please give a huge applause to the entire team who has been working on this project. And International Affairs Division team, which is always at the back end, working day and night. I know that this is quite late in India, but the entire Group Vice Chancellor's Office, International Affairs team, and our IT support team, they are working. Thank you so very much for helping us. I have been asked to give an inspirational story that how you can create world-class organizations and how diversity, equity, and inclusion of belongingness is important. I'm going to give you a story that you may find inspiring. Quite a few of you are finance and management experts, and I can see that there are a few who are in AI, machine learning, computer science. So I'm going to give you a real life story of a person whom I met a long time back in New Orleans, and this was at MDRT. MDRT is an organization where those who are very successful finance professionals, they are given a seat. So if you are having a turnover of 1 million, then they give you a back seat. And if you have got 10, then you progress and 100. So by the time you're at the top of the table, most of the people, they have got $1,000 million turnover. So all finance experts, insurance experts, they were in New Orleans. And Stephen Rothschild, who was the president and one of the youngest presidents of MDRT, he came to speak. And the topic given to him in the valedictory function was that how vision, diversity, and broad thinking helps you to create world-class organizations. He delivered a speech, and I'm going to give you that speech. You may find it inspiring, and it may provoke thoughts in the mind of young people that how they should be able to create their own businesses and how they should be able to run their own organizations. When Stephen came on the stage, people were looking at that how this handsome, smart man will come and is going to speak. Very composed person. He came on the stage, standing erect with his one of the very expensive suits he was wearing, and he started speaking. 20,000 people in the New Orleans, they were looking at him that how he's going to speak. And he started talking, and he said that today I'm 35. But if today someone asks me the name of my father, I will not be able to tell the name of my father. I don't know whether he was a Jew, whether he was a Jain, whether he was a Hindu, whether he was a Chinese, Korean, African, I don't know who he was. To me, my mom was everything. To me, my mom was everything. Because she was the one who gave me the first language. If I can speak well, it is because of my mom. If I can stand erect, if I can stand well, it is because of my mom. If my body language is positive, it is because of my mom. But I also knew that my mom used to cry sometime in a kitchen, sometime in a living room, sometime when watching movies. And as a 6-year-old, I used to ask her, Mom, why you cry? And she used to say, Stephen, I'm living only for one day. I want to see you successful. Will you become successful? Will you diversify? Will you do something extraordinary? Same question your parents must have asked you. Will you become successful? And I used to tell my mom, Mom, one day I'll grow up, I will become the mayor of New York. One day I will become very rich. I will bring you a best of the car. I will give you the best of the Bangalore. And those were the days we used to live in one room in Brooklyn, in the EWS flat, which is free. The government gives you. My mom used to pray daily. She was very religious. She was very, very religious. She used to pray daily. But God was never kind to us. We were very, very poor. And the only friend of my mom was me, and my only friend was my mom. And I think that still we had to face the challenges. One day while I was coming from the school, I saw that there was an ambulance, there was a fire brigade which was standing in front of our house. And I didn't know that why they were standing there. And then suddenly I asked someone that what has happened. And few of them, they told me that your mother is no more. She has committed a suicide. Your mother has committed suicide. At such young age, I was not able to understand the meaning of death, but I understood that my mom is no more. And for the last time, when I kissed the body of my mom, it seemed to me that as she was asking the same question to me, will you become successful? Will you become successful? I started crying and I just kissed her face and they took her body. And let me tell you the story of uncles and aunts. This great country, United States of America, where I'm treated as a financial icon, where people stand in a queue to ask for my appointment. No one offered me a piece of bread. For 3 days, 6-year-old, no water, no juice, nothing. No piece of bread. I kept on crying, kept on crying, kept on crying, kept on crying. And then my maternal uncle came and the story of exploitation started. He took me to a small place called Memphis by signing some papers, legal authority, the small flat which we had, the money he took. And then my story of exploitation started from that very day. I had to do dishes of the entire house. I had to do dusting of the entire house. I was put up in a government school, which was totally free, whereas my cousins used to go in the private schools, which are very expensive in the United States. And this kept on happening for 1 month. And daily I used to pray to Jesus. And I used to say that, Jesus, my mom used to pray daily. Is this what you're giving us? Jesus never replied. One day, when I was very depressed, I was very sad, and I was crying, I started shouting at the top of my voice and said, Oh, stars, my mom used to tell that if one day I will die, then I will become a star. Can you please return my mom for a few seconds? God is not listening. Jesus is not listening. No one cares for me. Look, my hands are swollen. Just give my mom for a day. I promise I will not ask for a teddy bear. I will not ask for any toy. Kept on crying, kept on shouting at the top of my voice. Stars were also very cruel. My mom never returned. That day, at the age of 6, I understood that those who go, they never come back. Next day, when I went to the school and when everyone else was playing baseball and basketball, I wrote a visionary statement. And in the statement, I wrote, one day I will purchase the entire Memphis. I didn't know how I'm going to do that. And Stephen did it. He co-founded the company called FedEx later on in his life. So, and no one ever supported Stephens, and he supported everyone. When everyone else was playing, he was practicing boxing. He became the marvelous orator. He can make people cry. He can make people laugh. Very hardworking person. He went on a scholarship to Water Business School to do his graduation. He got an offer to be in one of the leading companies of the world, which he rejected. There were 7 friends, and 7 of them they started their own. Because he had nothing to lose, he started taking risk and positions in the market, in the forex market, in the futures, in options, in commodity market. In 3 years' time, he was one of the richest person playing in the New York Stock Exchange. He made 5 companies in China, which developed in turnover volume started increasing. By the time he was 28-year-old, he was amongst the top 10 banking and finance professionals. At the age of 32, his volume of the business was the highest in the world. And at the age of 35, youngest ever president of MDRT. And he said that if someone asks me do I have any regrets, I don't have any regrets. Because I think that God has chosen me to give this pain so that I can give best to the world. And he gave a very visionary statement that in your life, if you want to go very high, you really want to do something extraordinary, you should have a determination. And he said that I remember that the day my mom was dying, that she committed a suicide. People were asking so many questions. Someone was saying that she was a prostitute. Someone was saying that she was not having a good character. And then when I am today something, I'm doing so well in my life. Every company has a statue of her mother, and people say, "What a son and what a mom." So people change, directions change, priorities change once you are successful. And that is what we try to do and imbibe at MIT, which is today amongst the top and world's largest education groups. There are hardly any education group in the world which has got 13 universities in Asia. We have got 13 in India. We have got 16 in the world. In US, the only Asian university which has got 175 acres campus in Long Island in New York, where I'm flying tomorrow. Uh, in UK, we became the first one to have the university status. In Singapore, we are amongst the very few who have got some of the iconic campuses, including the campus at Orchard Road. In Australia, we have one of the largest collaboration which we have been able to do with Monash. With in Canada, I think with the top 5 brands, we have got an association. Harvard Business School Dean Professor Datar is on our board. Stanford, MIT, Princeton, Group 8 universities, Russell Group of universities, and of course, our own friends from Brahampton, from Derby, and of course, CIA has been supporting. But the story, amazing story of MIT has been that from nowhere to somewhere, because vision of our founder, Dr. Chauhan, was extraordinary. And the vision was that whatever you want to do, you should make a difference into the life of those who really matter. When we started, and I can tell you this with the great confidence because I'm with this group from the day one. When we started up, a lot of questions were asked that how Indian education will look like, how our students are going to compete. I remember 1997, 1998. For the first time, I went to Boston, and that was my first visit to Harvard. And I met at that time their dean. And it was somehow an incident and an accident that we were doing, and I was going, and I asked him that where is the Harvard Business School, and he guided that this is there. And then he told me that I'm Professor Clark. At that time, he was a dean, and we became good friends from thereafter. But when I asked that I'm from MIT, he said we don't know where MIT is. And today, when I'm standing here, next week we are going to sign one of the largest agreements with the Harvard Business School, where we are not only writing case studies, but all students of MIT will get a chance to study, especially from the MBA and the BS program and AI programs. The part of the program, 30% of the curriculum will be taken from Harvard and will be taught by the Harvard faculty. So from nowhere to building up a brand, it's an amazing story what we have done. The chancellor of this university, Dr. Atul Chauhan himself, is a product of London School of Economics, from where he started up, and that is how we were able to create. And that's what I say, that leadership matters quite a lot. But what is amazing is that our network of more than 400 universities worldwide, where we try that the students are able to come and be a part of our ecosystem, and we should be a part of their ecosystem. I have got very good memories that for the first time when we came to London and we were looking at what we need to do here, our intention was very, very clear that we want to collaborate with the meaningful universities here. We should be able to give opportunity to the students not only from Asia, but from all parts of the world. That if they want to be a part of their ecosystem, then they can go there. For last year, we have launched one of the largest network of apprenticeships and internships, where the students from our side, they can go to Europe, they can go to Canada, they can go to US, they can go to Australia, they can go to various countries of the world and can start their career by doing meaningful internships and apprenticeships. India is changing very, very fast. The Prime Minister of India, who is a great visionary, and it's quite likely that this time when the election results are coming, he's again going to be the Prime Minister. But I think that whatever we have been able to do, it is because of the unparalleled support which we have got from the government. But at the same time, the dream of the founder of our university was that whatever we do, we should be able to make a difference into the life of those who matter us and who are having great confidence at MIT. And that is a reason, and that is an amazing story of MIT. We are still very young. We are not even 30-year-old, but we are very young, but we are very thirsty. Dr. Chauhan, who is right now the founder of the entire MIT group, he is 81 years young, and we have kept a vision statement that in 2045, 47, we are going to celebrate something where we call everyone from the world. So you will be invited when our founder will dance with everyone, because that is a time where we foresee, we forecast, and this forecast is quite abrogates with the forecast of the World Bank that India by that time will be a superpower, will be amongst the top 2 economies of the world, and that's what MIT has been contributing. From the bottom of my heart, I once again thank all the researchers for showing so much confidence in us. We are the only education group which has been able to do so many research conferences in the last 1 year. We started up from India, and I think that quite a few of you were there. We saw the Vice Chancellor of University of Roehampton there. We saw the Provost of Derby University there. We saw somewhere about 118 top Vice Chancellors of the world in our international conference. Then we came here in London, and I think that Case Center UK has not only supported us, but we are coming up with amazing case studies, which will be very helpful for the study abroad students, our 3 continent students, our global study abroad students. From here, we are going to New York. So on 13th of this month only, one of the largest research conferences is being organized in New York, where NYU, Rutgers, and Harvard and MIT, and also California State University and Denver, they are our partners. From New York, we are going to go to Paris, where INSEAD and University of Grenoble, they are our partners, and we are going to organize it. And the support of IEEE, Wiley, Springer, Taylor, and Francis will be there. From France, we will be going to Singapore, where we are going to organize another research conference. And from Singapore, we are going to go to Tashkent, where we have opened the first ICT university there. From there, we are organizing this year for the first time with African countries. And this is again amazing story, which you may like to listen. It was long time back when Dr. Kalam became the president of India. He invited with him 19 vice chancellors to go to Africa. So when we went there and we saw that how Africa was, and when Dr. Kalam started speaking, he said that I want to give Africa something which Africa is going to remember for all times to come. So everyone clapped for 3 minutes, and his next sentence was, "But not a dollar to give." So people thought, what is going to give? So, and we were talking just before the session, virtual education, and you were saying that Future Learn and Open University, they are bringing a lot of changes. But I think that MIT and India contributed quite a lot in the open education system and the distance learning education. Today, we are the best in that sector. But that was a time when in Africa there was no Wi-Fi, when the internet was not there, when computers were not there. So at the end of the day, it was concluded that it is not possible. And Dr. Kalam was a very visionary president of India. He laughed on the stage and he came back. Next day, he called all vice chancellors and the visionaries, and he said that this is what my vision is. What is your viewpoint? At that point, our founder, Dr. Chauhan, came forward and he said, if the country needs it and if the country wants to contribute in Africa, then we will take this challenge. So we became the partner of Government of India and implemented this project. The target of sending the students to Africa and helping the African students was just 1,000. 80,000 students, 80,000 students got the benefit. And that is what MIT's contribution is towards e-learning and distance learning. And from there we started up, and now there's a protocol, e-Shiksha Bharati, which Government of India is implementing. But I think that whatever we are doing, whether it's research, whether it's filing patents or commercializing technology, or in our business schools where we want that we should be able to create a network of great institutions and industry. And thank you so very much, CII, especially from UK and Ireland chapter, helping us. At the end of the day, we want these students from India, from Asia, from Africa, from Latin American countries, that we should be able to create an ecosystem where all of them, they should be treated equally. It's one word, and that's what our Chancellor, Dr. Atul Chauhan, also says. We want to change the word for a better. We want to change the word so that the hopes and expectations of these youngsters who are looking at us with a lot of expectations is fulfilled. We are organizing this year one of the largest conferences of the world on mental health issues and on happiness, where Monash University and MIT, they are coming together and going to host it. But why we are doing it? With one mission, that at the end of the day, there should be smile on the face of students who are on this path. Once again, thank you so very much. I can see large number of study abroad students. Keep on doing such exploratory steps, because they will help you later on to see how the word is. From the bottom of my heart, once again, thank you so very much, all researchers across the globe. All of them. About 37 universities of UK who supported this. Large number of our partners who are helping. While IEEE especially, we are the first university from India who are able to do an IEEE sponsored conference, and this is for the 5th time we are doing it. I'm sure in the times to come we will come with much more energy. But once again, we will say that this is a beautiful world. Keep on contributing, keep on coming back to MIT, and we are what you have made us. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for inspiring us. You always motivate us. Today we have with us Professor Jean Niol Zingier, Vice Chancellor, University of Roehampton, UK. Professor Zingier was appointed as Vice Chancellor at the University of Roehampton in 2019. Prior to taking on the VC at Roehampton, he served as DVC at Manchester Metropolitan University, Dean of Business and Law at Kingston University, Academic Fellow, then Academic Dean at Henley Business School. His first lecturing role was at Brunel. Professor Zingier is a graduate of Ecole Centrale, where he studied engineering systems followed by postgraduate study at Brunel University. His research expertise is in systems and processes management with a focus on the social aspect of information systems. In addition to his role as Vice Chancellor, Professor Zingier is a board member for the London HIRE, the National Centre for Universities and Business. The university's Vocational Awards Council. Previously, Professor Zingier has held board and advisory positions with Warrington and Helton NHS Trust, Henley Management College, Richmond upon Thames College, the Association of Business Schools. Jean Niol has also worked on a number of steering groups. Presenting Professor Jean Niol Zingier for his special address. Put your hands together for Professor Zingier. He'll be talking on enhancing belongingness to advance equity, diversity, and inclusion. Lord, it is with us.
Thank you very much for those kind words of introduction, and Dr. Singh, many congratulations on this great conference, and congratulations to Amity in its international outlook. It's a great delight to be a partner with such a visionary institution, and it's a great delight to see how much emphasis you put on international experience in studying. And this resonates for me because actually, as you can probably tell from my name, I'm not from the UK. I'm French originally, but I've lived in the UK for more than 30 years now. And I was an international student myself, and I think that shaped who I became as an academic, and that shaped who I became in terms of my views on diversity, inclusion, and belonging. So what I want to do today, and I think the theme of your conference is very apt, having a conference which focuses on diversity, inclusion, and belonging in 2024 is absolutely the right thing. And we know from what's happening around us that this is a topic which is a journey for every one of us, and a journey for actually many countries in the world. What I want to do is perhaps deviate slightly from what you've heard during the conference, which would have been quite academic papers with quite a lot of data on what diversity, inclusion, and belonging mean. And I want to focus on this notion of inclusion. And I want to talk about inclusion as a concept which emphasizes the importance of creating environments with a variety of perspectives. And these environments with a variety of perspectives are environments that, in my experience and in my university's experience, create thriving organizations. So for us, diversity, inclusion, and belonging makes good business sense as well as making good ethical sense. And that is something that I really would encourage you to remember. So if we look at the University of Roehampton, this is a university which from the beginning emphasized diversity and inclusion. And I tell you why in a minute. But for those of you who don't know about us, we are located in southwest London, and we're a university which in some ways is very young because we're only just celebrating our 20th anniversary as a university, but we were founded 180 years ago through our constituent colleges. And I'm going to talk to you a bit more about those constituent colleges because they are a prime example of how diversity, inclusion, and belonging can make good sense. So our history dates back to 180 years ago, as I said. And what you probably will notice from those pictures is that if you look at old university pictures of about 180 years ago, I bet you will see very few like these pictures. And what do you notice in those pictures? I'll give you 5 seconds to think about it and scrutinize those pictures.
The group, so the group together coming and participating, like it's like dance or like enjoying the.
So they're enjoying themselves together, absolutely. There's something else.
Teamwork.
Women, absolutely. Only young women. Roehampton was founded 180 years ago through our first constituent college, Whitelands College, as the first higher education institution in the UK to admit women to study. At the time, there were only 4 universities in the UK: Durham, Oxford, London, and the University of Roehampton. And at the time, none of those universities admitted women. And Roehampton was actually the first university to, or the first higher education institution, because we were only a college at the time, to admit young women. At a time where women didn't have the vote, women had very little in terms of career progression. And at a time, or 20 years before, women were first admitted to study at the University of London. 9 of them, the whole of 9 of them, and at the time they were not able to study for degrees. They could only come and listen to lectures, but they couldn't sit examinations. And then when they first admitted at the University of Oxford, they could go to the library, but they had to be accompanied by a man. So that tells you how pioneering the University of Roehampton was through its oldest college, Whitelands, and why for us, diversity is absolutely part of our DNA and absolutely part of what we do as a higher education institution. So our founding colleges are still with us today. Digby Stuart, founded by the Catholic Order of Nuns. Frobel, which was founded by a secular society for the advancement of early years education. Southlands College, which was founded by the Methodist Church, and Whitelands College, which was founded by the Church of England. And immediately you're noticing something else about Roehampton, because 3 of our colleges were founded by religious orders, and 1 was secular. 3 were founded by religious institutions which at the time didn't really talk to each other and actually were fighting quite a lot with each other. And this secular college. So what we've got also in our DNA as a university is the idea that actually working together across boundaries is quite important. But at the time, since the formation of the university, inclusion didn't feature. We worked together, but we were separate communities. And what's happened over the last 20 years is that inclusion has featured more and more, and we've moved from being separate communities working together, collaborating together, to a university where everyone feels included and is able to be included. So our mission today is to provide an inclusive community of learning. It is in our mission statement. Inclusivity is in our mission statement for students from all backgrounds, and our staff work in partnership with our students in an environment that values people as individuals. We encourage freedom of thought and expression, and we help our students achieve their aspiration. But of course, our values are derived from the heritage of our founding colleges, whose history dates back to 180 years. And of the ethos and the commitment to diversity and inclusion for us is very simply a commitment to social justice. So if we look at the university today, we are one of the most diverse universities in London. We have a student population which is very mixed in terms of gender diversity, but still a majority of female students, still a small majority of female students. And in terms of the ethnic background of our students, 49% are Asian, 16% are Black, and only 26% of our students are white. And this speaks to the diversity of London and also the diversity of Roehampton. 50% of our students are from outside the United Kingdom, and 50% are from within the United Kingdom. And what's interesting is the religious diversity of the University of Roehampton. So we have currently a real panoply of religious diversity at the university: 27% Christian, 33% Muslim, 19% no religion, and 16% Hindu. But another marker of diversity for us is first generation into higher education. I was the first in my family to go to university, and it literally changed my life. And we believe in that at Roehampton. And today, 58% of our students come from families where no one before has gone into higher education. So does diversity work? I've talked about diversity as something which makes good business sense, as well as something which is necessary from an ethical and human point of view. Well, we think it does. We are the best modern university for research in the UK, jointly with Manchester Metropolitan University. We are top 10 in the UK for postgraduate satisfaction. Our ranking in the Teaching Excellence Framework is silver, and the latest official data on university enrollments places us over the last 3 years of student enrollment as one of the fastest growing universities in the UK. We're also top 10 in the UK for international student growth. And this year, I'm very delighted to say that our students elected the first international president of their students' union. So this is a first in the history of Roehampton, but the president of our students' union is actually from Afghanistan. However, and we've got to be candid about this, there are still issues with diversity and inclusion in our university, as there is in many universities in the UK and in the world. And one of those issues is that the achievement between different groups of students, measured by a protected characteristic, varies. And if you look at their entry qualifications as a level playing field, then when they come out of university, the degrees that they achieve is not always what we expect them to achieve based on their entry qualifications. There are more dropouts in some groups than in others, and unfortunately, and this is a UK phenomenon, it continues after graduation. So typically, if you come from a less privileged background, if you do well when you enter university or to enter university, the disadvantage carries on after university. And that's something that we're very passionate about addressing and that we want to address. So how do we address that at the University of Roehampton? And this is where this idea of belonging comes into place. Because I personally firmly believe that you cannot have inclusion, you cannot have diversity without belonging. And belonging is about people living in one community. So the way we do this is firstly through practical inclusion. One of the things that we noticed, for instance, is that the students who lived on campus had better results than the students who commuted to campus. The students who lived on campus, of course, had better access to the library. They didn't have sometimes 2-hour commute in the morning to come to university. So we're being very practical about it. The way we're being practical about it is we've introduced a university bus, for instance, to help students commute. And we've also timetabled our teaching in a way which makes it easy for students to commute to campus. So it's block teaching. You don't have to come to university for 1 hour and then go home and then come back for another hour. So we can take very, very practical steps to address some of the inequalities that we find. The second response is proactive inclusion. This is something that we've been working very hard to achieve with our students' union. But one of the things that we noticed is that not all groups of students were drawn into the students' union activities. Because the students' union activities sometimes took place in the evening when many students had gone off campus, and it was only the residential students who were on campus. Or many student union activities took place in environments which made other students feel uncomfortable. So working very closely with our students' union, we have been able to create activities which are more inclusive, where everyone feels safe and feels welcome. Finally, not finally, but the third piece of work that we've been doing around inclusion is meaningful inclusion. And here we're very lucky to have, as Dr. Singh said, Baroness Verma as our Chancellor, who's a champion of women's rights. So from the top of the university, we have someone as our symbolic head who is passionate about diversity, inclusion, and belonging. I personally chair the Diversity and Inclusion Committee at the university, and I personally monitor diversity and inclusion data, including staff diversity and inclusion data and student achievement diversity and inclusion data. We've also introduced initiatives around community inclusion, where all our students come together to celebrate, to play sport, and again, this is about creating activities where everyone feels safe and welcome. And of course, one of the things that we've been doing in terms of community inclusion is built on fun traditions coming from different cultures. So, for instance, a couple of months ago, we celebrated Holi at the university, where our Indian students brought their tradition for the benefit of the wider community, and everyone had a tremendous time. And of course, let's not forget faith inclusion. We cannot be a university which was founded by three faith institutions without recognizing the fact that faith is an important part of our students' personality and our students' identity. So we have a number of activities which support students from different faiths across the university. And I personally make an effort to attend faith events to demonstrate that faith diversity matters at the university. So for me, diversity, inclusion, and belonging is not just a matter of statistics. It's also a matter of living it, and it's also a matter of the leadership of an institution. And that translates into the corporate world. It's about the leadership of corporates, demonstrating the value to their heart as well as to their business of diversity, inclusion, and belonging. And last but not least, wider community inclusion. So we take our message, we take our values to the wider community. You probably can't see who the speaker is on this photo, but we were very lucky, for instance, to welcome Sadiq Khan, Mayor of London, to campus last year, who was able to talk about his view of a diverse London and the importance of all Londoners sharing in diversity and inclusion. So thank you very much for inviting me to speak to this interesting topic.
Thank you so much, sir. You rightly mentioned that sense of belongingness is not possible without meaningful inclusion. And now the time has come that we at Amity University is signing an MOU with Roehampton University. A huge round of applause. I would request GBC sir and Professor Ezingiar to please come forward. Thank you so much. We are so privileged to have an MOU with Roehampton University. One person who is so dynamic, full of zest and zeal, one of the most influential women in the UK is none other than Miss Shehla Raza Hassan. Put your hands together for Shehla. She is the Director and Head Confederation of Indian Industry UK. Shehla Hassan has joined the Confederation of Indian Industry in June 2023. She previously served as the Executive Director, Manchester India Partnership from April 2021 till May 2023. She has over 15 years of experience in the UK-India Economic Corridor. Shehla headed the Confederation of British Industry India office as Country Director. She started her career as corporate news reporter in Business Standard newspaper, followed by working for 4 years at the Indian Chamber of Commerce in Kolkata. She holds a Master's of Arts degree in Political Science from JNU and a professional diploma in management from the Open University Business School, UK. Presenting Ms. Shehla Hassan.
Thank you very much, Rashmi, for the kind introduction. And ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's a matter of great pride and honor to be speaking at this conference, which delves into a subject very close to my heart: diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. And this is something, these are concepts which touch everyone, and no one in the world escapes from these concepts. So I think it's a huge congratulations to Amity for for striking at the pulse of the times, because the relevance of this subject in today's tough times is unparalleled. Just emerging from a pandemic, we are seeing global conflicts which are tearing people apart. And these are outcomes of extreme otherization and exclusion. But on the other hand, when we look at the world, we especially are, as young people, you listen to music, you watch films, you look at art. But these cultural aspects of art or music, you really don't care who's singing it, whether it's a man or a woman or a LGBTQ, whether which race. If the product is good, you listen to it, and that is what unifies everyone. And that is something I would like the youth of today to take back from this session. And when I was, asked to speak at this conference, I wondered whether my specialism in the UK-India economic corridor would be of appropriate relevance. However, thinking deeper into the subject, I realized that the relationship between UK and India was in fine fettle, and this couldn't be possible without the mutual respect and strong ties which bind the people of these two countries together. So if we respect each other, we progress together, we connect and prosper. It is common knowledge that India is the second largest foreign direct investment source in the UK, creating hundreds of thousands of jobs. And similarly, the UK does the same in India. But rather than going into the economics of it all, how many jobs are generated, how much revenues are generated, I would like to dwell more on the people to people relationship, the shared beliefs and the democratic values which both these countries share. It is our people to people and cultural links and our common democratic traditions that bind our two nations. The strength of the UK India relationship is anchored in the living bridge. So, we as people from the UK in India and from India in the UK, we form that living bridge, and that is the most important aspect of this relationship. We have a shared history, but today we are equal partners. And the last census said that there is a 1.8 million strong Indian diaspora in the UK, and this provides the bulwark for the vibrant economic ecosystem which thrives between the two countries. So these relationships actually reinforce the subject of this conference. um, there there has been a huge amount of effort in the UK. I've been working from the UK side for the last 15 years, and there's been this huge effort to close the gaps that exist between people. So, the Race Equality Network, which was earlier known as BAME, but it's no longer called that. When I was heading the Confederation of British Industry in India, there was a report which focused on the pay gap between people of different races, and it sought to bring, it was a very revolutionary thing. Nobody spoke about it, but then the trade association, which is our MOU partner, which is the CII's MOU partner, they kind of shone the light on the pay gap between races in the UK. So this is a huge, at least there are people who are willing to even look at these issues. And I will also talk about a little bit about the 33% club, which was started by women in the insurance sector in the UK. Especially, insurance sector in the UK is probably has the largest women leaders in any sector, exactly like the way we have in the aviation sector in India. The largest number of women professionals come in the aviation sector. So, don't be surprised when you see a woman pilot flying an aircraft anywhere, an Indian woman pilot. So it's with great pride that I am talking about this. So the 33% club came into being maybe last decade in the UK, where 33% of any company's board had to have women on it. Again, there was this rule of having at least one woman on any panel discussion, which is great. But in India, we still struggle to get those women. We are quite determined to have those women on the panels, but again, the number of women leaders may not be as much as in the UK, but we are getting there because of various policies followed by the government on women empowerment and women leadership. But I think, the time has come to move from just empowerment to leadership for women, and not only women, but people across different categories. When the professor, I really liked your statement when you said diversity makes good business sense and good ethical sense. So, since the majority of the audience is young university students, I'm glad we are discussing this subject. Diversity is integral to a strong economy and inclusive growth. A diverse and inclusive economy is an economy that does not discriminate and treats all its groups on an equal footing. Equal opportunities with respect to education and jobs can generate a wide range of economic benefits. The benefits of workplace diversity and inclusion have been proven in global studies. These include providing alternative perspectives which stimulate creativity and innovation, challenging stereotypes, and enabling employee recruitment as well as retention. Diversity allows organizations to optimize talent pools to deliver enhanced performance and profitability for sustained economic growth and development. But everything said and done, I would also like to highlight one more aspect about diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. I would say all this belongs at home. So, it is how you are raised, what are the ideals your parents espouse. For women, it is very important to break the glass ceiling at home, not literally but figuratively. You have to have your say and also have your place at the table. I'm not sure who said it, but if you're not offered a place on the table, bring your own chair. So I think we need to be a little aggressive about it and be counted among people who are raising their voices. And there is absolutely no measure of anything that should be restraining you, not your caste, not your religion, not your gender, not your color or your nationality. Businesses have transformative power to change and contribute to a more open, diverse, and inclusive society. So, by sensitizing our youth about this subject, I think more, of course, education is important, but this understanding the value that is delivered by diversity and inclusion, I think that is even more important today. And by doing that, I'm also appreciating this move by Amity University, that by doing that, we are ensuring that the future of the world is in good hands. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for telling us the nitty-gritty and nuances of diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. we have with us Dr. Pareen Somani, Director, London Organization of Skill Development, London, UK. Professor Pareen Somani, Director, London Organization of Skill Development, London, United Kingdom, is a renowned academic scholar and esteemed Director of the London Organization of Skill Development, Chief Editor of Global Research Journal Educator, 3 times TEDx speaker, author, international motivator, speaker, humanitarian, philanthropist, multi-international award winner. Professor Dr. Somani's tireless efforts have also been acknowledged through being honored with the Wonder Woman Award in the year 2023. And also, she was awarded with different kind of awards in the area of beauty pageants, in the area of philanthropic work. For her unwavering dedication to social welfare, Professor Dr. Pareen Somani has received esteemed honors like the Mother Teresa Humanity Award, Kabir Kohinoor Award, Women Excellence Awards, and numerous others. Presenting Professor Pareen.
Good afternoon to all my beautiful students. I'm so happy to see all of you in a mass gathering. I would like to say a very big thank you to Dr. Rashmi for the kind introduction, and I would like to say a very warm welcome and a greeting to all the dignitaries on the line and off the line. I would also like to say a very big thank you to Chancellor, Honorable Chancellor Dr. Atul Chavan, Professor and Dr. Gurvindir Singh, Group Vice Chancellor. Sorry, I'm not very good with long names. I'm trying my best, guys. But yes, thank you so much. And the organizing team for having me here. It is my pleasure and my honor to be with all of you today. There are a lot of things we can do it together, and the topic which you guys have taken today in the conference of the International Conference on Diversity, Equality, Inclusion, and Belonging 2024. It's a fantastic topic where I would bring myself that I know that diversity and inclusion is very, very important in everyone's life. But to take this topic by MIT University, it's wonderful to start with. We are very fortunate and we are very blessed to have a beautiful platform in front of us, how we can explore and how we can help our students and our future generation. Think about the inclusion and the diversity and the equality in this moment of the belonging in this global world. Remember, it is a very strategic imperative that locks organization and the company with the true potential. As a CEO and a managing director of London Organization of Skill Development, I heartily gives you honor to be with all of you, and it matters me a lot with the inclusion, diversity, belonging. Remember, this is very close, near, and dear to me. Because any organization's success starts with all this main important diversity for the people around the world. And we want to include, because I remember when I used to be part of the Lloyds Bank, which is a renowned bank in the United Kingdom for last 24 years. I know when I've gone through the lots of challenging of my health and how they have included me as a company. So as an organization of my company, I would love to include each and everyone, whoever comes on the path of my journey. But sometimes people feel that diversity is a weakness. I believe that diversity is within us, and that is the strength of the organization. It brings us together as an individual and in the background of the experiences and the perspectives. It fosters creativity, innovation, and problem solving from multiple angles. So remember, the conferences which MIT is doing with all the beautiful students here, they are our future leaders and they are our future generation where we want to bring them and make sure that they are aware of this one. Imagine a team where everyone thinks exactly the same thing. What will happen? A lack of progress is almost guaranteed. So we can't have everybody on the same platform with the same thing. We need to have different colors, different ethnicity, different people around the community. And diversity creates a fresh idea and challenges assumptions and leading to the better decision making. So equality is all about removing all barriers and creating equal opportunities for everyone to contribute and thrive. This could involve unconscious bias. Important thing is unconscious bias training, flexible working in the company when the company can do the arrangement for you, and the mentorship, which is very important. And when everyone has the tools and support, they need it. And what will happen? You will see that organization or that company will flourish with loads of talents. About the inclusion. Inclusion is like a fostering a sense of the belonging, where you come from. Doesn't matter whichever country you come from, whichever religion you come from, but that is your belonging. And I love the professor Jean has mentioned in a beautiful way that they celebrated the holy. Yes, we do the same thing. That is the important part in our life, how we can have the inclusion of anybody in our community. Also, we need to respect, we need to understand their belief and hear their voice. This means by celebrating the differences and actively listening to the diverse voice of each and every human being in this world. That will help us to foster and give the open communication. When employee feels included, remember when the employee feels included, what will happen? You know the wonders. They are more engaged and they are more into and they are the best person who we can work with them. So I feel that inclusion is wonderful to have in every organization. When we talk about the belonging is where individual feels a sense of connection, motivated, inspired. Within organization, when people feel that they are included, they know their belonging is there. What will happen? They will be more aware. They will like the bosses that in charge, the leadership, and they will work even harder to prove the company that yes, they can do very well. So I feel that way that belonging helps us to collaborate, helps effectively to work with their contribution in their best behavior and the best work. In the contemporary world, diversity, equality, inclusion, and a moral value are very, very important to include all of them. However, all these four qualities we can practice, and that is just not about practicing. It's all about the strategic in a way to form this organization, any organization. We're talking about the MHP, but talk about anyone in any organization is necessary. I will put it down as a four important points are very, very necessary in any organization to be a successful. To get the success and to be on a ladder of success, we need to be part of the wider society. And I know that we can do that. That will create more equitable and sustainable future for our future generation, for our faculty members, for our students. Currently, we all know we have gone through so many pandemics, so many things we have gone through in this challenging world. The world is even upside down. You are all the future leaders of the community. Doesn't matter wherever you belong to. And I would like you to give you 3 tips which has helped me. Not to be part of the wider to be part of the wider solution, but not the problem. Number one, you need to believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, the world will believe you. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Even the caterpillar turns into the beautiful butterfly. You all have the strength to inspire and work together and help each other. Number 2, follow your true instinct. Be honest. Be truthful. Don't lie. And don't cheat anyone. Be the part of the wider solution. Be kind. Be generous and help each other. And number 3, very important, which is something in my heart. And that is why I'm here with Amity University. Thank you. You know what? The third point brings me here in person because we are including each and everyone here, and also we want to build the bridges between societies, between family, between friends around us. If there is a bridge in between us, trust me, you can't see me, I can't see you. But when there is a bridge, we can meet, connect, and work and collaborate with each other. That's the beautiful point I would like to make. And also by embracing diversity, inclusion, equality, and belonging, the international academic community is open to wealth of diverse perspectives and talent. This fosters collaboration, inclusivity, and paving the path for the future where the global challenges are tackled through the collaboration and inclusivity. I would like to say a very big thank you to Amity University for having me here. Thank you and namaste.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pari, for giving us the soul of diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. You tell us that believe in yourself, have trust, and never lie. Thank you so much. We also have with us Dr. Tola Edesina, Associate Provost, University of Derby, UK. Dr. Tola is a college head of internationalization agenda at the College of Business Law and Social Sciences. Prior to joining the University of Derby, Dr. Tola spent 7 years at Coventry University. In his various roles, he has worked extensively with universities across the globe. I would request Dr. Tola to please come forward and address the gathering.
Hello, good evening, actually, it is everyone. And thank you very much for having me here today, particularly President for welcoming us from the University of Derby. I'm here today representing the Vice Chancellor of the University of Derby. In my role as Associate Provost for Global Engagement, I oversee all of our international work. There you go. I'm just trying to see if I can find there you go. I'll do a quick introduction to the University of Derby so you know who we are, and then I'll touch on a few things that relate to the theme of today's agenda. There you go. Thank you very much. Just expand that.
Just give me a minute. I'll share this.
Yeah, on this main screen. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Good. So exactly 4 weeks ago, 1 month ago exactly, about this time, I was just trying to calculate the time difference. I was taking a flight from the Delhi airport to Chennai. I was in India. visiting, and 2 days before that, we visited Amity in Noida, and it was a really beautiful trip. I was really pleased to see and experience the institution and the facilities that Amity has. Now, we were inspired by our visit. As an institution, we felt that that's the kind of institution that we want to partner and work with. And so when we got an invitation to come today to this conference, we thought it's a no-brainer because at the University of Derby, we have very common similar values to Amity University. So thank you once again for inviting us today. I'll do an introduction to the university so that you get a sense of who we are. And you might wonder, why do we have a turtle in front of our key presentation, and why do we use the turtle as the main image that represents the University of Derby? I mean, you could take a wild guess, but maybe you might not be able to find the answer to that. So I'll give you sort of a hint. Now, Derby is located right in the center of the UK. We could not be farther away from the sea, but we use a turtle to denote our institution. Now, the reason for that is we are a truly applied university that tries to solve problems for industry and for people. That's very important. And so one of the key things that the university was looking to solve was, why are the coral reefs around the world, why are they disappearing? And so we've got a group of scientists looking at coral reefs and how we can respawn coral reefs. But that speaks to the DNA of the institution. Now, we might not necessarily be next to the ocean, but we're solving problems for the entire world. And I'm going to link that very soon to diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. We are an applied university looking to create opportunities for, I don't think that's responding, but I might just carry on. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, there you go. That's the keyboard, not that one. Okay. So I'll give a quick facts and figures about the university. Like I said, we're an applied university for today and tomorrow. And the key thing in what we do is that we're opening doors for everyone, staff, students, and people around the region. We're top 20 in the UK for overall student satisfaction. 98% of our graduates are in employment. We're top 20 particularly for our teaching quality. And that's also stamped by what we call the Teaching Excellence Framework, where we are gold. Now, at the university, we have a few campuses, but I think I'm just going to go to this slide here. And I'm going to link this very similarly to what Professor Jean talked about earlier on. Now, if you look at the university's purpose, it's, again, delivering excellence for students, but that third box there, which says opening doors for everyone, is linked to the concept of today's conference, which is everyone, wherever you're from, whatever your experiences are, whatever your background is, whatever your religion is, whatever your race is. And so the opening doors for everyone and the leading impacts for industry engagement really are the two things that really define the University of Derby. Now, when we visited Amity, one of the things that we were very clear about is we want to build partnerships as a way in which we can do that. How do we open doors for everyone? Sometimes we do that through partnership. And so in my role as Associate Provost for Global Engagement, I'm focused on how we build partnerships that opens doors for everyone. That's my main focus. And we do that with our partnerships internationally. Now, so the University of Derby currently has 11 partners across the world where we work, and over 6,000 students that study for a University of Derby degree. We have over 20,000 students, but 6,000 in addition to those 20,000 students study with our partners in Singapore, Malaysia, Botswana, Greece, Germany, Switzerland, China, potentially India at some point. Those are the conversations we're having today. And for us, it really is about opening doors for everyone, right? Now, we feel and we believe that if we set up these partnerships, we facilitate two main things that would help us drive diversity, inclusion, and belonging. The first is we connect people. And once you connect people, you can build bridges between those people and you can let exchange of ideas flow. So it's connecting people and exchanging ideas. So through global partnerships, we are opening doors for everyone by connecting them and letting ideas flow and exchange. I am going to link that to the proposals that we've been speaking to with Amity University, and the three broad proposals that we're hoping to be able to work together on. One is research. Again, going back to connecting people and exchanging ideas, there's no better platform to do that than through research, right? When you sit with, as an academic myself, in fact, I did my PhD here at Birkbeck University, so it feels like coming back home many years ago, the PhD in economics. So as an academic, when you connect researchers together to sit in a room and solve problems, they're exchanging ideas and you're building those bridges together. So research is the first way in which we can collaborate to open doors for everyone, and by extension, through diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. Now, the second areas that we believe we can collaborate, and we want to collaborate to get to that key point of opening doors for everyone, is through teaching collaborations, right? The University of Derby is a strong teaching institution. After seeing all of the things you've described, highlight Amity University as a strong teaching institution. We believe again that through collaboration and through those teaching collaboration, we are able to provide opportunities for students through teaching, wherever you're from, wherever in the world you're from, in India, other parts of the world. So teaching collaboration will be the second type of collaboration that will be willing and will be open to carry on. Now, the third, which is very important and very dear to me, is mobility. Mobility is about international exchange, letting students actually leave where they study, go study somewhere else for a period of time, and come back to where they study. Or even if they don't come back, they have that international exchange. So it's your study abroad. And I hope students that I did hear, they talked about some students being on study abroad. So where you have opportunities to do that, go to different parts of the world, study abroad, take a semester abroad, do that virtually. And we hope to collaborate in that way as well, provide opportunities for students to be able to come to Derby from Amity, any of the Amity campuses from all around the world, right? So these three areas are the areas in which we're currently looking to collaborate with Amity. That really speaks to the theme of today's conference. And by doing that research collaboration, by doing those teaching collaborations, and by doing those mobility exchange collaborations, we will provide more and more opportunities for students, our students, to exchange ideas and to connect, and ultimately have opportunities that open doors for them and for everyone. Now, I think from all of the things that I've said today, if you're going to take anything away, right, it's the 2 points around being able to build bridges wherever you go and being able to exchange ideas. Those are two crucial parts that would help all of us make the world a more diverse, more equitable, more inclusive, and a place where everyone feels a real sense of belonging. So thank you very much again for having me here today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tola, for telling us that how diversity can change the world, and also throwing the idea of research collaborations. Now the time has come to confer the awards. We are now joined by our Honorable Founder President, Sir Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan. A huge round of applause for Honorable Founder President. We will now be presenting the visionary thoughts. Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, Honorable Founder President, Ridwan Barve Education Foundation, the Foundation of Amity Institutions, and the sponsoring body of Amity University as Chairman, ADC Group of Companies. Would you like to speak? I now request.
I think that let me introduce the founding father of MIT family, who has not only been able to guide MIT group of institutions, but is a torch bearer who brought the revolution in the entire world through his most innovative idea. Give a huge applause. He's joining us live from India. From the last many days, he was guiding that we should take research initiatives. Today, if MIT has been able to organize these kind of research conferences across the globe, 10 research conferences in every part of the world, it is because of the unparalleled vision which founder of MIT, Dr. Johan, has been able to do. An amazing story. He was very famous, very successful entrepreneur, one of the most successful entrepreneurs in Europe. Not only that he was able to create the worldwide industries, but also regarded as one of the most respected business person, industrialist. But he thought that he has to give back to his country. And with one vision, with one aim, he came back to India. And that was a time when there was no private university. There were hardly any private group who was contributing to the field of education. And our founder, Dr. Johan, thought that he has to create quality schools, quality higher education institutions. And those were the challenging time when everyone was asking questions. He started liberalizing the education sector. We not only saw the institution MIT coming up as amongst the front runner and creating the 12 universities in India, which no other education group in the world has been able to do, but to provide quality education and to ensure that the students who are in India, who are in Singapore, who are in Africa, who are in North America, who are in Australia, who are in Canada, who are in Paris, who are in Europe, are everywhere. We have got 16 campuses today worldwide, in Uzbekistan, in other parts of the world, and other about 27 campuses which are coming worldwide. That where we should say that the world is one, and there is no difference between the one who is in America or who is in Canada or in Singapore or in other parts of the world. With the passion to create a group which can contribute most significantly, Dr. Chauhan sacrificed his entire career from industry to education, and in the education to research-based education. And from nowhere, when there was no private education group, private university, which was concentrating on science and technology, he took a challenge and he said that we are going to create the ecosystem which can produce the leading scientists and can create the scientific ecosystem in the entire world. Today, MIT contributes the largest number of patents, and not only that we contribute largest number of patents in India, we try to commercialize them and we want to give back to the industry. I can see the head of the CIA of the UK and Ireland here, but that is what we are so passionately we have been able to do. Research hub which we have been able to create at New York, collaborations with almost all the top universities of the world, whether it's Russell Group of Universities, whether it's University of Derby, or whether it is some of the top universities of Canada, or Group 8 universities of Australia. I think it was the idea of Dr. Johan to contribute most significantly. Please give a huge applause to him. For last many days, continuously listening to the and going to the minutest of the detail he was guiding. And we would request you, sir, if you can share your thoughts. A visionary person, the father of MIT family, who works 20 hours a day, wants to contribute and wants to now share his visionary thoughts with all of you. Over to you.
First of all, I'm very glad that a large number of my students sitting away from me in London, but my love, affection, respect for them is the same if they are near to me or far away to me. My dear student, this international conference is of immense importance because my one mission is for my students, best of the East and best of the West. So today you are in the environment of best of the West, taking with you best of the East. With this, if you can incorporate both these virtues, qualities, and what you heard just now from very worthy and most experienced speakers, I have been listening for quite some time. Among my other important conferences, I learned a lot myself. The speaker, as they deliberated their experience, as they gave the advice, the four advice our worthy lady entrepreneur or academician gave. So I would say that students, you are very lucky that you have opted for SAP program. I must tell you why I think like that. After doing my MSc in chemistry, I wanted to go to West Germany, and I stayed there for 28 years. And in West Germany, in the unification of East and West, I was the biggest investor in the whole East Germany. Why so? Because I learned a lot from UK people, from USA, from Singapore, and also from in Germany. So you are now on a tour for SAP. So I think when you come back, you will be totally a different student. Where you get the chance to listen from IEEE conference, such worthy speakers, and I would say it is worth emulating what they all told. I noted few points. I think first of all, give a big clap to all speakers. I think so. And always keep aim in life, very high aim, and you would achieve whatever you want, whatever you have planned, because we are giving you at MIT and Gurinder Singh through international conferences, through SAP, study abroad program, pre-contel program, everything he's making every my student capable and worthy to fulfill full dreams. And if still your dreams are not fulfilled, then the fault is mine. Maybe we have left something which we should have told you, but actually we have not left everything. So my very worthy speakers, we are very fortunate that in spite of your such busy schedule, you are available to us, and we will now keep contact with you. Dr. Gurinder Singh every year has a program, Imbush, where the people, the worthy people from all over the world come, all over the world. And I think this is the unique program in the country. No other university is having it. Dr. Lumi must be sitting over here, and she is an example of worthiness and love and affection, and also belongingness. This is one of the topic of the today's conference, the diversity, equity, and inclusion and belongingness. Yesterday, we celebrated the start of the week of belongingness at the occasion of the birthday of our very worthy Chancellor, Dr. Atul Chauhan ji, who has studied at London in UCL and LSE. And during his studies, I think this you should listen carefully. During his studies, he was head of the consulting department of 50 universities. So any student, any staff had any problem in any universities, he used to come to UCL to him as a student. He was admitted also in Oxford and Cambridge, but he wanted to have a dual course, UCL and LSE, and now he is in total command of these 12 universities, being the president of the foundation. And our aim is to have universities in every state of the country, and also within 5-6 years, 50 campuses abroad. Why so? As I told, that one can learn a lot from. I have been traveling quite often to UK, and they were always telling me sometime in the flight, sitting together, Dr. Chauhan, we are going to West Germany to learn from them, and they also are very glad to have learning from us. So this is a good fortune for you all. And my dear all worthy speakers, we are so fortunate because I listened very carefully what you told. And my habit is that I always take to best out of best. When they were speaking, I was making my note so that I can further pass on to my students, my faculty members, my researchers. My mission is to be number one in the country among all 1100 universities here. And I think Dr. Gurinder Singh would agree with me. Dr. Singh, we are going to, what do you say, are we going to achieve this status or you have some any doubt?
Absolutely, we are going to do that. And today, MIT is not only taking the flag in all the countries of the world, but I think that we all are contributing most meaningfully in the growth of the students. Thank you so much.
And I must tell to my student, the secret formula is behavioral science. You may be the pass out from any Ivy League or any best university of the world, but until you don't have the competence and control in the behavioral science, because I have used my behavioral science all over the life after my 12th class, and therefore, you know my formula for that. You may forget everything. You listen so many lectures, read so many books, how to be millionaire, how to be highly successful, forget everything. Remember only one formula which you can never forget, that is the word bhag, BH double AG, BH double AG, because you cannot forget. You see people running, whole life you see people running. When you go to the class, at the gate, you run so that the attendance should not be missed. At the railway station, you run, the guard may not give the green flag. At airport, you are running. So if you remember what is BHAG is behavioral science, H is hard work, A is attitude, A is ambition, and G is God. Because if God is with you, then nothing can stop you anytime, anywhere in your life. And I am, God is always with me. I say to God, God, I am your honorary servant, and then He takes care of me. So if you have faith in this formula, then you will achieve everything at any time, my dear student. You feel that you are not achieving what we believe during the speech of our Honorable President, come to me, I will tell you what is missing. But my student not achieving everything, I have no understanding for that because I have done myself. I have done myself. I have not read any book. I have not heard the TED speakers, but I learn from people wherever you or wherever you listen, whatever you do, learn from people, try to practice it. Dr. Gurinder, once again, my heartiest blessings to you, congratulations to you. You are a word-moving person, and all these worthy speakers, please give me their address and name. I will write a personal note to them because I enriched myself by listening them. Dr. Lumi, you are a charismatic person. What you always say, incredible. So we are proud of you. She's head of our London campus, and I have been to Barbeck University with her, and my aim for London is very big. So thank you very much, Dr. Inder Singh, and my congratulations and my blessing to all those who are sitting there. I am having some cold and cough, so my voice is hoarse, but still I have also fever. But I told no, I will meet my student, my worthy speakers. This is the order for Gurinder Singh, which I cannot deny. Thank you very much.
Can I request all of you to stand up and give a standing ovation to the visibility of the president?
But when the students are back, I would like to meet all of them. When they are about 160 or what is the number, I would like to meet to them and listen their experiences.
Absolutely. I think that you're very lucky that you were able to listen. Please have seats. That you were able to listen to a great visionary, the man who brought the new education revolution to India, the man whom we say is a man with Midas touch, the man who has not only created world-class universities, but has been conferred with many awards, out of which some of the awards we can list: the most successful NRI of continental Europe, Man of the Year London, the International Man of the Year by International Biographical Center of Cambridge, England, the Barter King, the Man with Midas touch, and the list is endless. We are also, we can see the presence of our beloved and respected chairperson who's sitting, who's so successfully running MIT International Schools in India and worldwide. Give a huge applause to her. And to Mrs. Pooja Chauhan, who is leading MIT Humanity Foundation. When we were talking about belongingness, I think that one of the concepts which we do at MIT is that we feel that not only students, staff, all the members of the family, but also the poor to the poorest, we want to help them up. So our chairperson is funding more than 4,000 girls through Amitasha, and through Atulasha, we are funding more than 2,000 boys. We take care of their entire education, and that is being done by MIT Humanity Foundation, where Mrs. Pooja Chauhan, as the chairperson of MIT Humanity Foundation, is playing a very important role. Give a huge applause to her. I can see all the trustees. They are give applause to the trustees who are there attending. Give a huge applause to them. And the who is running finishing school. I think that one of the topics today which we discussed was that diversity. Along with the diversity, most important thing is that how we need to have inclusion. So great initiative by Mrs. Jayashree Chauhan, which is trying to go to through her finishing schools world over to bring the inclusion in the personality of everyone. Thank you so very much, all researchers who are here.
Dr. Gurinder, can you just find out if Dr. Atul Chauhan is available to speak for a few minutes? Atulji, are you available to speak for a few minutes? Because his every word is a diamond word. Atulji, are you able to be near the program? Atulji, he has every minute he has 4 different assignments. Atulji, Pujaji, is Atulji available for a few minutes speaking? Just a minute. So, very good. Thank you.
Founder, Namaskar, Founder. Dr. Gurinder Singh, lovely to see you. Founder, I am not with Chancellor right now, but if you want, I can reach out to him.
Yeah,
but my compliments, Dr. Founder, your speech was brilliant. The way it's motivated everyone.
Pujaji, you speak in place of our Chancellor and President a few minutes.
Right.
So
right.
If he's worthy, then the husband is also worthier.
No, Dr. Singh, good evening, namaskar. And I think, I want to just thank Founder President because, if he has told us since yesterday, that all of us need to watch the conference, that means it holds high value and esteem to him. Our founder told us yesterday that you must watch this conference. He told us, reminded us again. And I thank you, founder, for guiding us to watch, because what I learned in the past half an hour, very worthy speakers, I myself would want to become a SAP student next year. So thank you very much. And this has been really, really invaluable lesson for us. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Singh.
Is respected chairperson there to give a few words. Chairperson is a world leader. I've never seen any better leader than our Dr. Amita Chauhanji. Pujaji, is he somewhere available?
So I can check, founder. I think she had a very busy day. She was in school till 6:37. Okay. So I think she may have retired for the day, but I can check for her, founder, if you feel.
Ask. But Dr. Gurinder, every trustee has joined, and many have now retired, gone to other appointment. But see your charisma. Every trustee, never they joined all together at a conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think we are really thankful to Mrs. Pooja Chauhan, who is so very ably leading the MIT Humanity Foundation and always ready to work with everyone. A lot of affection for the entire family. Thanks for your visionary words. But our founder, I think that your presence, your thoughts, your efforts, the whole world can see today MIT across the globe. Thank you so much for coming and gracing the occasion. Our special thanks to our Chancellor, Dr. Atul Chauhan. London campus was his brainchild. I remember that 15 years back when we came, there was no university at that point of time from India, or for that matter from Asia, who was having a presence in in UP. But today, when we see hundreds of our students, study abroad students, 3 continent students, global study program students, and also dozens and hundreds of students doing a full-time program, it was the vision of our founder, and under whose shadows and blessings our Honorable Chancellor has been able to do that. So give a huge applause to our Chancellor also. My special compliments to the study abroad students. Maybe that when you are very young, you're not able to realize. But you will find that after 4 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line, when you will come back to London, when you will be very, very successful. The other day we were looking at that how our study abroad students, 3 continent students, after passing out from the institutions they were doing, and amazed to see that each one of them, they became a success story. Your alumni is with you. So keep on coming on such innovative steps. And for all researchers who are here, who have supported us, all 37 universities of UK, IEEE, those who have been helping, CII, industry, I think is very, very important. We can see quite a few industrialists sitting here. Thank you so very much. Keep coming back to MIT, and we will welcome you whenever you are in any part of the world. If you want to come over, we will love to take you to our campuses, and maybe that you can see that what initiatives we have taken. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Founder President Sir. Thank you so much, Pooja ma'am. And thank you, sir. Now we'll start the award ceremony. And we would now confer the Global Excellence Award to Professor Jean Neil Ezingiard, Vice Chancellor, University of Roehampton, UK. Put your hands together for Professor Ezingiard. We would now confer the award, Global Excellence Award, to Ms. Shehla Raza Hassan, Director and Head Configuration of Semiconductor. And the next award goes to Professor Dr. Karim Somani, Director, London Organization of Skills Development.
Thank you so much.
Please round of applause for Professor Somani. We would also like to confer the Global Excellence Award to Dr. Tola Adesina, Associate Provost, University of Derby. I would request all the dignitaries to please join us on stage. I would request Sheila ma'am, I would request Karim ma'am to please join us. Yes, sir. I would request Professor Ezingiard to please join us.
we can have a group photograph.
Yeah. Now we are moving towards the group photograph. Professor Ezingyar. Professor, we would request you to please join us for group photograph.
Can you put this laptop on this side so that everyone in the audience can also look at it? Turn it around. No.
So the better you go on the other side and balance it out.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
If you can call all students.
No, thank you.
All the students.
But first close it and then. Thank you.
We would also like to unveil the best 3 research papers. The best paper award, third position goes to Gayatri Ji Prabhuji. The title of the paper is Fostering Diversity, Equity, Inclusion and Belonging, Enhancing Organizational Commitment through Employee Engagement. A huge The best paper award, second position goes to Mamta Tiwari. The title of the paper was Job Satisfaction and Organizational Commitment for Employee Inclusion Initiative and Recruitment. And the best paper award, first position goes to Mr. Aman Kapoor, and the title of the paper is Assessing Sentiments and Climates of LGBTQ Inclusivity in Corporate Service and Daily. And once again, I thank everyone for attending this session. Physically and virtually, your support is much appreciated. Thank you, everyone. And now I request all the students. And I request ID team to please close the link.